Welcome to God's Playbook with your host, Father Rico Passero.
Lock at the 20, 10, 5, touchdown! Touchdown!
Let's play ball.
Friends, welcome back to God's Playbook. Yesterday we talked about religious sisters, and today we're going to talk about religious brothers. Like religious sisters, religious brothers are not priests. These are men who have followed the call and vocation to religious life, but do not function in the role of priests. Religious brothers, like religious sisters, priests, deacons, and bishops, and you faithful people, have an important role in the church. Religious brothers often live in community as well, whether it be in a monastery or in another house of prayer. And religious brothers, like religious sisters, are called to do the work of God, especially through a commitment to prayer. Religious brothers often wear habits so that they look the same. They are wearing simplified clothing, unified with their fellow brothers in living a very poor, simple, and holy life. They make promises to prayer, obedience, and poverty, so that whatever they own in community. In other words, they don't own anything themselves. Everything is shared within the community like it was done in the early church. Religious brothers have also a very long-standing place in the church. These are men who taught the faith, walked with people on their journey with God, and have worked both at the monasteries and houses of prayer and also outside them. Like religious sisters and those who are consecrated and ordained, religious brothers, first and foremost, have a commitment and relationship with God that is focused on prayer. And many times throughout the day, religious brothers are called to pray for the salvation of the world, for reparation of sin, and to pray for you and I, God's children. Religious brothers also then have a commitment to work, and they unite their work to that of Jesus Christ for the building of the kingdom and also for the sustenance of their own community. Religious brothers often work inside and outside of their community walls, depending on the religious community that they belong to. Religious brothers also live at times with other religious priests. So you might have a Franciscan brother living in community with Franciscan priests, or a Carmelite brother, or a Jesuit brother. So they are not just living in community of brothers, but can also live in community with priests of the same religious order. In some cases, they may also be working in local parishes with a diocesan priest, but normally religious brothers live with people of their own religious community. Religious brothers, like sisters and deacons, are not priests, so they do not celebrate Mass, they cannot hear confession, they do not have that role. They are called to a different role in the church. So religious brothers are not the leaders of prayer. They do not celebrate weddings or funerals. They do not preach homilies or anoint the sick. Religious brothers have a focus on their role in the church. And so, while a very important part of the church, at times it can appear that if a religious brother is not part of our parish, we may not be necessarily thinking of them. I know in my own diocese, we have a community of religious brothers who have been instrumental in helping to lead youth retreats for a long time. These brothers, along with a religious sister, have opened and continue to function in this capacity in helping with youth retreats, especially those at the high school and university level. Religious brothers, like sisters, have been teachers in school systems, both at the elementary, secondary, and post-secondary levels. They, too, teach the faith and are catechists in parishes. They also help people come to know Jesus through RCIA programs and run children's liturgy programs. These men have been dedicated to God in this particular lifestyle of religious life that we call religious brothers. Could you be called to religious life as a religious brother? Men continue to be called to this beautiful way of life. And so we should not only thank God for those who are already serving as religious brothers, but also look for ways to inspire others to answer the call. Could you be being called by God to be a religious brother? If you feel that tug on your heart, speak to your local priest. He will connect you with a community of religious brothers locally or abroad. What a great opportunity perhaps to visit with them, see their lifestyle, their prayer schedule, the work they do, the charism they have. How are they serving God in a particular way? And could this be what God is calling you to do? For those following a call of God, it is not just reserved to be a priest. There are men who are set aside in this beautiful call of brotherhood to serve God and to serve His church. Lord, thank you for the gift of religious life. Thank you for these men who serve you and your church as religious brothers. May we lift them in prayer, thank them for their ministry, and once again pray for more vocations to their way of life. For God's Playbook, friends, I'm Father Rico. God loves you, and so do I.
If you like what you hear, please consider supporting us using any of our affiliate links in the description below via Buzzsprout, Ko-Fi, or GoFundMe. Thanks, and God bless.